Hello, my name is Sharon Drew and I'm from Smart Consultancy and Coaching Limited. I'm here today to share with you some smart ideas about using different types of rulers and small apparatus for children with coordination difficulties. One of my most favourite rulers that the children like to use is this one, and it's the crocodile ruler. It's got a lovely big grasp on it, so it's easy to hold in order to be able to draw the different lines on the paper. This is also quite a nice ruler as well. This is perhaps for the slightly older child. It's got some really nice big numbers which are easy to read off if we're drawing different lines of different lengths. But in the middle there's a nice tactile ridge, so it prompts the children where to place the fingers and gives some resistance so that the ruler doesn't actually slip around. Also, by placing the fingers in the middle of the ruler, it prevents the potential to draw around the fingers, which some of the children tend to do. Now, as the children get a little bit older and perhaps move towards the comprehensive setting, these rulers are quite nice. This is a helix ruler, and as you can see it's got a ridge in the middle, so it makes it easier to grasp. Again, we're avoiding the tendency to draw around the fingers, and again it'll hold quite steady on the page while the lines are being drawn. A little take on this one is this ruler. Again, it's got a ridge in the middle, but this one has an added advantage in as much that it has a magnifying strip, so it actually could also be used as a reading ruler for those children perhaps who find it difficult to follow the print as it moves across the page. So again, very simple, all commercially available, so none of this is from any specialist suppliers at all. Again, as the child is progressing up through the secondary school, this is another ruler by Helix, and instead of having the ridge on the top, what this one has got is a groove down the middle. So again, the children can put their fingers in the groove, apply the pressure to keep the ruler in place in order to be able to draw the relative lines on the paper. Now, the one that I quite like about this one is the fact that it's got a non-slip piece of material on the back of the ruler, which gives it that added sort of friction to keep the paper and the ruler in contact with one another. If that's not available, what I do with some of my children is that I actually will take a ruler and just smear a little bit of blue tack or plasticine on the back of the ruler, which again will keep a bit of friction with the ruler on the paper. Or failing that, you can purchase this non-slip sort of matting, and I would cut off a little strip of this and just attach it to the back of the ruler, again just to reinforce that sort of contact. We talked about some rulers with some ridges in, and they went all along the ruler. This one is now reducing the length of the ridge down into one central place. Again, very easy to hold, and a useful benefit of this one is that it's got a place that you can actually put the child's name, because one of the things that children with coordination difficulties are prone to do is lose their equipment on a daily basis. This is another type of ruler that I saw, which is quite helpful for those children who find it less easy to pick the ruler up and move it around the page, is this one, and it's a roller ruler, so it glides along the page really easy and is much more easy to manipulate and turn around to make more complex shapes or perhaps diagrams and drawings. In addition to using rulers, some children might find it quite hard to use protractors, and this is just something that I picked up in a local stationer's. And the one thing I like about this particular protractor is that you've got a dial that you can actually use and move around to read off the numbers. Again, if the child is finding it hard to keep the protractor in place, then smear a little bit of the blue tack or use the non-slip matting. One of the things to bear in mind, of course, is not all children are right-handed, and that there are many tools that are available for children which are for left-handed users, so we must bear this in mind. And again, this is commercially available, although there are some sites on the internet that you can get specifically for left-handed people. Again, particularly within the secondary setting, it's quite hard for some of the children to draw neatly different types of shapes that they might need, perhaps for maths or science or DT. So for those children I might use pre-formed stencils which have the different shapes and patterns. And again, with that in mind, I might use letter stencils, for example, with the children, because often their diagrams and illustrations can be quite untidy because handwriting neatly is difficult for them. So in order to clearly label their diagrams and drawings, then we'll use something like this. Anyway, I hope that's provided you with some interesting ideas that you might like to try with the children. But if you'd like some more ideas on how to support children with coordination difficulties, visit the website smartcc.co.uk.